now to an idea born out of tragedy and loss.
A Milwaukee woman who lost her son to gun violence has turned her pain into healing.
Rebecca Clough explains how she's giving survivors an outlet to share their stories.
Stephen Carroll, a mother who lost her only son in a triple homicide, spent years not knowing how to move forward. Now her purpose is to give other survivors their own voice.
My son was murdered.
Deborah Gillespie's son was 22 years old, a recent college graduate out celebrating his new job with two friends. The three men were killed in 2003 for being in the wrong place at the wrong time, caught in the middle of a domestic violence incident. But that's not what Deborah heard when she learned of his death.
As I'm standing on the sidewalk, I hear the TV player. Must have been gang or drug related. How dare someone automatically stigmatize him because he was an African American male?
Deborah says despite correcting those reports, for years she struggled with her son's murder. Almost a decade later, she realized talking about it helped the most. So she got out an old tape recorder and began traveling the country, asking people to share their stories about gun violence.
I was just driven to ask people if they were a storyteller and if they were a survivor of gun violence. I guess that was my healing, too.
She's been holding on to nearly 100 stories. UWM's communications department found out and asked her to partner with them to create the Gun Violence Project.
I think it's incredibly meaningful. People's own experiences and their stories matter. And so often those stories get obfuscated or hidden or reduced to statistics.
The school is now reaching out to other survivors.
Individual experiences matter and they change the way that we see complex issues.
Christina Paris recently told her story to Deborah.
I was robbed and raped at gunpoint. The person came up behind me and held a gun to my head and told me, not to make a sound or he would blow my head off. That's pretty much what he said over and over again.
Her assault happened 29 years ago in Shorewood. Her rapist will spend life in prison. But for Christina and Deborah, they say getting justice is only the start of their healing. They needed to speak up.
After sharing my experience, I feel stronger. Like it opens the wound again, but it makes me feel stronger that here I am. I'm alive. I survived hell and back, but I'm here to speak.
Now, the Gun Violence Project wants to talk to people in this area. If you've been affected by gun violence and you want to share your story, we have a link on how to do that on our website. Stephen Carroll.
Rebecca, thank you. Also on our website, the entire raw interviews with Deborah and Christina, two brought together through tragedy and helping each other cope. It's all on our homepage, tmj4.com.